Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Doodle Robot and today we're going to go over my completed pages and whips for March. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. So there's a method to my madness. Don't click off. This is my pile of whips and this little pile here is my pile of done pieces. It's a little unfair though. All the ones in the done pile are like these skinny little books, and all the ones in my whips are like these super fat coloring books. So I'll explain what I did this month though. And actually, I usually make this only every 2 months, so I got a lot of pages done and started a lot of whips. I'll explain that, my method of madness there for you. We'll do the whips first, so let's get into it. So, I was a little more productive than usual. Let me adjust my lighting there a little bit. Because it was spring break. And because I've been living in a very stressful situation for, gosh, almost 2 years now. And things are finally easing up. I thought I was like in the worst school district in the nation. And suddenly, we got rid of our superintendent. We got rid of our bad principal. We know who's going to be principal and vice principal next year. It's not like the horror show I thought it was going to be. So suddenly it's like, this burden has been lifted. I feel very free. I can be a little more creative. I have that energy to be a little more creative. So there's that. And it was spring break. And I figured, you know what? I have a lot of good ideas. If I get them started, I can work on them all through April and May, the busy time of the school year. So that's what I did. Some are, I think 2 of them are carryover whips, and then the rest are just ideas that I had that I wanted to get started. So I don't know. How do you work? I like to have lots of whips because then I can just pick them up and peck away at them for a long time. And I like my whips that are standing by. My peck away at whips. I like them to be kind of a complicated nature. And then I kind of like to do quick, easy ones in between the bigger, harder things, if that makes sense. I only mention this because I was watching a couple of videos, Jojosa Hannah and Color Me Stress Free, and they were talking about how they get bored maybe or tired of working on a page or something. And it just made me wonder, it's like, oh, do they just work on one page and then they move on to the next page? Maybe they do. I don't know. I would like to know this about people. So if you tell me in the comments like how you like to work. I think I found after a year of coloring, it's just my colorversary recently, I've kind of found my sweet spot. Like I said, I like to have several of the like big long projects going and do smaller ones in between. I've recently just, kind of figured that out about myself. So let me know how you do it in the comments, because I'm curious to know about people's creativity, how they manage it. All right, so 50 Marvelous Dragons is, I think, a carryover from January. I didn't really work on it until a couple of days ago. I think since January. I'm gonna tell a story here as to why I like this page. I love it. It's so adorable. This is a great book. It's by Camilla Angelkova. It's got really good pictures in it. I was just leafing through it the other day when I colored the last few petals of the flower here. I'll talk about in a second. But yeah, it's got really good images, and I want to do a whole bunch more in here, and I think I will next month. But this is from a instruction video on satin glazing liquid. I believe I shot in January. And while I like the dragon and the moon and the clouds, and I thought I liked everything on the page, when I started coloring these flowers, I just lost my page momentum here because I'm going to tell you why. Don't laugh at me. I know you're going to laugh. It's kind of funny, but I figured it out. These flower petals creep me out. They remind me of really disgusting, creepy toes here at the end. And this is why I would never pick up this book and color it. I just figured this out like a few days ago, so I was emailing Be Cozy. We email back and forth, and she did a fabulous picture of this. You got to go to her Instagram and see it. It's wonderful. It's like fluorescent or something. I don't know how she did that. I want to know. I'm like, people are going to laugh because of the creepy toe thing. I mean, even when I talk about it now, like my back is shivering and my little hairs are standing on end. Yeah, so the rest of the petals seem less creepy toe-like, so hopefully I can get that finished this month. But I finished the one flower that was giving me trouble. Like, I could just not bring myself to work on it. But anyways, this has a satin glazing liquid. It's treated with satin glazing liquid. And then my video was all about Crayola colored pencil on top of satin glazing liquid. I proved how it looks just very close to Prismacolor, so if you're interested in that, you can watch that video. And then this is a whole bunch of, what are they called? I think glitterifics? Yeah, a whole bunch of glitterifics on the moon there. I can't remember what colors. But anyways, that's kind of a holdover from January. Hopefully I shall finish that in April. And a holdover from February, I think I started this in late February, very late February, so I wouldn't have finished it, is my Romantic Country book. My theme this month, I'm going to move you down just a smidge, hold on. My theme this month was really busting out of my comfort zone on all kinds of things. So, in Romantic Country, I did my acrylic paint background, and those are called, what are those called? Oh, those are the color shifts. I like the color shifts. I have a lot of colors of that. And then where I really broke out of my comfort zone, you could probably see all the sparkle going on here. Ooh, it's coloring with K moment here. I used my watercolor metallic paints on the moon, and that wasn't enough. I then had to go and use it down here, and I still have a little bit of the grassy, hilly area to cover with that. But yeah, I wasn't really particularly comfortable with those, so one of the things I was using, breaking out of my comfort zone, I think once I get that shiny stuff done just in this little hill in the background here, I think the rest will be Prismacolor probably. I'm curious to know how Prismacolor works on this paper. So that continues on. That was Romantic Country by Erie. Oh, I want her new book so bad. I have to figure out how to order off Amazon Japan. World of Flowers by Joanna Basford. Oh, these are whips that I just drew. You can't really see them. We'll be quick. One is a Star Trek whip here. Nope, that's a done one. One is the Star Trek symbol here, which you probably can't see at all, but that's a whip from January too. I don't know when I'm going to get to those. They're not high on my list there. But I do want to do altering videos for those two things, so maybe in April. And in March, we did this page. I did my first play, again, breaking out of my comfort zone. I used, are you all in screen there? No, now you're not. Okay, there we go. I used my new Jane Davenport pastels in the background. And I just did a kind of a speeded up version of me doing that. I did it with these teeny little eyeshadow applicators. And after doing that, I immediately got on Amazon and ordered some of the longer eyeshadow applicators because, you know, we all learn our lessons. So I like that it's nice and intense with the pastels. Those are my first pastels. I generally don't like pastels at all. As an art teacher, I hate when we have to do pastels. Although I teach ceramics now, so it's not a concern. But there's just like pastel dust everywhere. It's gross. But anyways, I thought I would give the Jane Davenports a try because they're less dusty and they seem to stay. I have not fixed it yet. They don't, like if you were doing this with regular chalks, you would you would come away with stuff on your fingers. So it's fairly intense, not maybe as intense as the Prismacolors that I like so much, but yeah. So I have since colored the grass, and I spent, oh my gosh, must have been 5 nights coloring these little bitty pieces of grass. Kirby, dude, man, that's a lot of grass. And it's really hard to tell what's going on in his picture. A lot of times I just had to make a command decision and say, okay, that's going to be grass now, because I don't know what that is. But anyways, I look forward to finishing that. Now I have all the good stuff to do, so that's exciting. All right, that was Mythomorphia by Kirby Rosannes. And no, I didn't do a video on this one. I think I just did this on my own. This is Beauty of Horror 3, Alan Robert. And I did a little bit of altering on this, but again, this is out of my comfort zone. And I played with my new, when did I get these? February. Must have been February. I went berserk in February buying stuff. I used my new what are they? Inktense. I used my new Inktense in this part here. The stalagmites or tights or whatever they're called. So that was fun. And now I'm going in, I just did it a little bit. I'm going in with water-based markers, and I'm darkening it up a little, putting some you know, low lights in there, I guess. I've just barely started here. A little bit. So, more to do on that. It's just underway. This is just a black acrylic background, and I added the eyes. They weren't there. I added them because, you know, you need them in a creepy book like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing. It seems like my Prismacolors, or no, they're not Prismacolors. The Inktense, oh, it didn't bleed through as much as I thought. There's a little bit on the edge. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, a little bit on the edge here. I guess I get carried away on the edges, but relatively no bleed through, so that's pretty good. Inktense, all right. Yep, look forward to finishing that one as well. This one should go fast too. I mean, what I did so far went really fast because the Inktense, you know, speeds everything up. All right, that's Beauty of Horror by Alan Robert. And another whip that I did an altering thing a video on was The Magical City by Lizzie Mary Cullen. And this was my whole geek out Sherlock, my Sherlock geek out thing going on here. So yeah, so I drew it on and then I came on and inked it, and I then came back and kind of showed you step by step what I was doing. I have since colored the background. It's not white anymore. I colored it a very off-white color. Yeah, you can tell because there's white over here. With a Pastelo pencil. I gotta say, I'm not crazy about those Pastelo pencils. I like the colors, but you gotta work so hard with them. And so I talked about this piece being, I did the kind of a simplified version of the Sherlock wallpaper from the BBC, the modern day Sherlock one with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman. We went on at length about that. So it's a simplified version of that because it's a very complicated wallpaper. I'm not going to take the time to do that. But I added some to a smoke. I added 221B in there. We talked about it as I was doing this. I put red around Sherlock. I'm going to put, I have my I Am Sherlock. I have more of them somewhere. Here we go. I've been testing various sizes. The first one I printed out was way too big. I was testing my alcohol markers there, though. I'm going to collage it on. This is the second one I did. So this is probably what it's going to look like. I Am Sherlock. That's from The Phone with Irene Adler. That might still be too big. I haven't decided yet. I have since printed a smaller one. So that might be a better size. So I'll get that all alcohol markered and tested out. Over here I'm going to have the smiley face that they painted on the, that Sherlock painted on the wall, or part of the smiley face. It's going to be cropped. It's going to go off the page. And then I think I'm going to put Mind Palace somewhere, and maybe sprinkle some blood splatter on there. I don't know. So yeah, so I've gotten a little ways, just a little ways. Otherwise, that's where we are with Sherlock. That's a magical city. Like I said, I just had lots of creative ideas and kind of went berserk doing things that I don't normally do in coloring books. And here's the last whip I have. This is from Enchanted Winter. Yep, it's a winter page because, I don't know, I can't go in order of the seasons. That's too hard. And here I wanted just to paint. I wanted to use acrylic paint. I might even, this is where I'm so far, I might even make the whole thing maybe paint and gel pen. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. Can't hold me to it. I'm thinking about either doing watercolor or ink tints in the big snowflakes. I don't know what these are. In this pattern somewhere. Or maybe colored pencil. I haven't decided yet. This is just where I've left off. This is all acrylic paint thus far. I know I'm definitely going to go over all the lines in this one with a gel pen. Most likely silver. It's going to be a purple and blue color scheme. All very cool colors, I believe. Unless I lose my mind and go crazy. So yeah. Since I feel a lot less stressed recently, and you know there was spring break, I really got creative there. Had good ideas. I wanted to get started so that I can peck away at them. So I did all those whips. And then I did, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like I have 6 done pages, which is kind of unheard of me for a month. I mean, if I got 5 done a month, I would be thrilled, and some whips. But gosh, I got 6 done and a lot of whips. So I'm pretty pleased with myself. And again, this is out of my comfort zone. I recently bought 2 mandala books. I bought Geomandala 1 and Geomandala 2. Because I said I didn't really like doing mandalas, and then I said that out loud. So I'm like, why is that? Why don't I like doing mandalas? So I figured I'd just get some and try. And these are geometric, so they're less mandala-y like, I guess. So in Geomandala 1, what did I do? All right, I did plate 1. This is with Papermate Flares and one Tombow, I think. One kind of water-based marker. I don't know what. It's very bright because those are the colors I had in the Papermate Flares. I did really like, the other one I did a colored pencil on, and I really like the one with the Papermate Flares in mandalas rather than the pencil. These are tiny spaces. They look big on camera, but they're really tiny, so that sort of pin worked better. I still have yet to try gel pens in my mandala books, but that's next on the list to try. And then there's this one, which I altered quite a lot, and it is actually painted. I don't know if it will show on camera, but this is a shade lighter. I had a lot of extra paint from something I was working on. I don't know what it was. Oh, I think something from the monster book. And I just added some color to it and then painted it. I don't know. It's a whole shade lighter in real life, but I painted the background. I also painted some of the elements in here, but then I took out some elements and added my own, basically. I don't know why. I gotta mess with things. I can't leave things alone. So we've got acrylic paint. We've got a bunch of 3 colors of Tombow, and then we've got some different colors of Ohuhu acrylic markers, some alcohol marker. It's based with alcohol marker. That's the highlight color is alcohol marker. So yeah, I kind of just went crazy with the different mediums there. I chose this one to paint because it had rounded rather than lots of angular things. Some of these things are very angular because it had rounded things, which are easier with the acrylic paint. So yeah, I added this stuff out here because these are all just round things. Obviously, they're mandalas. So those are my 2 from Geomandala 1 and my 1 from Geomandala 2. Ironically, this is done with colored pencil, which was super hard to do with colored pencil. Lesson learned. Colored pencil, and then all the blacked out stuff is, I started with colored pencil here. I quickly switched to just a black liner pen for that because that was easier. So try to zoom in there for you. I thought it looked kind of Death Star-like, so I wanted to use kind of Death Star colors. And I looked up some concept art from Star Wars, and these colors were in the picture. It wasn't of the Death Star, and I liked those colors, so I went with that. I don't think it looks very Death Star-y anymore. I don't know. But I don't know. I kind of like the colors, though. Kind of cool. And that's all Crayola colored pencils. That was it. I use Crayola because the areas are very small, so I needed something that would, keep a sharp tip for a while. That's plate 15. Geomandalas are from John Wick. So those are my 3 from the Geomandala books. Very out of my comfort zone to do a mandala. And then again, out of my comfort zone, I got Cute Monsters because of Pixie. It's all her fault. This is probably the most, what shall we call it? I don't want to insult anybody or anything. It's not meant that way. Probably the most simplified coloring book I have, maybe. Naive drawing coloring book. This book is so cute, though. It has the most adorable little monsters. And it's kind of a quick, easy win. I've been saying for a long time that I really want to, break out of my comfort zone and use my alcohol markers more. So that was kind of my goal this month, was to use my alcohol markers a lot more. And this book and the other 2 books were all basically alcohol marker projects. I then went over them with other things. So in the case of this book, this cute little monster is, pretty much mostly alcohol marker. And then on the border here, they're all bordered in this book, which I like. I like a border. And so then I went and colored the border. I don't know why. I felt it needed to be colored, so I colored the border just to add to it. I think I got the acrylic paint out to do his teeth and eyes and his little ears. And then I just kept on with the acrylic paint and kept going. So I did the border too. But everything inside here is alcohol marker. So alcohol marker, acrylic paint. This is Cute Monsters by, I can't say this lady's name, Daria SHCH. I don't think I can say that without it making it sound like a bad name, a bad word or something. So I'm just going to leave that to you. All right. Super adorable book. And then this one I just did actually last night. I did this all in one night. That is unheard of. I don't think I've ever done that. I'm super slowpoke colorer. But I did this one last night with mostly alcohol markers. This is Retro Deco by Carla Magana. I love her stuff. So most of it's alcohol marker with the my super wonderful new Arteza gel pens that are in my last haul video if you're curious. And, I just sparkled it up everywhere that I could. All kinds of places. Loved working with the alcohol markers and the gel pens. I think that might be my new favorite thing. And then I, of course, altered it because, that's what I do. I have a lot more circles than Carla put on there, and more circles, disco balls. slightly reminiscent of disco balls. And this was used with a stencil. I just drew it on with a stencil and then used white Posca paint, 4 coats of that stuff to make it white out here for that. So there we go. Retro Deco by Carla Magana. And the last one, really out of my comfort zone here. Lost Lumina. This book, I don't know, it intimidates me. So I tried to find a relatively easy picture. Oh, this is by Christina McAllister. Relatively easy picture. You're not out far enough. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay. And it is just alcohol marker and Arteza gel pens, I believe. I chose the Artezas over the dual metallics. They have all the same colors, just more of them. Because this red color, which is my favorite color, doesn't change colors. The dual metallic, when you put it on top of another color, will change colors. And so I wanted the predictability of it all being the same. So yeah, I love her stuff. I think every month I'm gonna order one of her books until I get all the ones that I want, because I do really like her stuff. And this, I ordered a really hard book here. She's got a few easier ones I need to get, but it's a people. I did a people. So I'm quite proud of myself. So yeah, lots of glittery stuff. It's cool. Had a good time doing it. So it's all good. All right, that has been my completed pages for March. I thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Live long and prosper. Bye-bye.